Apple lifted the review embargo today on those with early access to the iPhone X while the rest of the world has been asked to queue up outside their nearest Apple store so Tim Cook and his team can get some pictures of the demand, but it's been a day where the process has been slightly different. While some reviewers have had over a week with the device including Forbes' David Fellon, many other sites have had less than a day with the future before having to report on the handset or miss out on the traffic spike. I wonder why Apple has restricted the time reviewers have with the handset before peer pressure forces them to publish their conclusions that will set the tone of coverage of the Phone X for the next few months. Let's start looking at what the reviewers did find out about the iPhone X with a shout out to Jim Dalrymple, who acknowledges that, like many, his review unit has only been with him for less than 24 hours. I think what surprised me the most about the iPhone X when I took it out of the box is that I thought the physical design would be bigger. I guess I didn't spend much time comparing it with the iPhone 8 Plus during the launch event. However, when you turn it on, the iPhone X is all screen. It doesn't have the big top and bottom of the iPhone Plus models, it's just screen. It's beautiful. The iPhone 8 has a 4.7-inch screen, the iPhone 8 Plus a 5.5-inch screen and the iPhone X a 5.8-inch screen. For all of Apple's new designs and advances in chip technology, for all the new tricks in iOS and all of the extra speed and performance, there's two closely linked areas that everyone wants to know about. The design in general and the OLED screen in particular, and the accuracy of Face ID. Having spent a month since the launch of the handset reminding everyone that the screen was all screen and how Apple had managed to remove the bezels, there's a juxtaposition with the reality. The percentage of surface area occupied by the screen is less than that of the Galaxy Note 8, and the screen's brightness is lower than that of Samsung's competing handset. But when your yardstick is not the competition but previous iPhones which all had LCD screens, the OLED option is a clear winner. James Titcomb for The Telegraph. The iPhone X has what's called a Super Retina screen, which is Apple talk for the first iPhone display using OLED technology. This means colors pop out better, blacks are darker, and everything just looks brighter. And there's no denying it really does look fantastic. Up there with the best screens I've seen on a phone and a definite step up from previous iPhones, which start to look just a little drab in comparison. I definitely feel like I would be comfortable watching a full film on it, although there's one hiccup there. What is clear with this screen is that the inclusion of the forward-facing sensors has robbed Apple of a genuine all-screen forward display. The notch is an obvious iconic element, but one that serves Apple's marketing first and users second. Most reviewers have suggested that it becomes invisible after use, but it is going to remain an awkward reminder that this silhouette is an Apple smartphone's silhouette. No lay but hell. The Verge looks at the notch and how it is badly handled in third-party software apps that haven't been specifically updated for the iPhone X but use Apple's iOS auto layout system will fill the screen, but wacky things happen. Dark sky blocks out half the status bar with a hard-coded black bar of its own. Uber puts your account icon over the battery indicator, and the settings in the Halide camera app get obscured by the notch and partially tucked into the display's bunny ears. It almost looks right, but then you realize it's actually just broken. Apps that have been updated for the iPhone X all have different ways of dealing with the notch that sometimes lead to strange results, especially in apps that play video. Instagram stories don't fill the screen, they have large gray borders on the top and bottom. YouTube only has two full screen zoom options, so playing The Last Jedi trailer resulted in either a small video window surrounded by letter and pillar boxing or a full screen view with the notch obscuring the left side of the video. Netflix is slightly better, but you're still stuck choosing between giant black borders around your video or the notch. No doubt popular apps will be updated over time, but first impressions count, and out of the box the screen design and the notch are immature slices of technology. The design also drops the home button, and the software features normally associated with the iconic button have been replaced with swipes and gestures, a common approach on other platforms but a first for Apple's iPhone. Forbes' David Fellon takes a closer look at the new controls in his review. There have been big changes to the iPhone's user experience. The biggest changes for years, or possibly for